What if I told you the most expensive troops in Call of Dragons are actually the cheapest one? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy to see you again. Today I'm going to blow your mind about tier 5. Secretly save your resources. And yeah, I make all of my troops tier 5. I mean, as you can see, my Celestials, I have like 2.4 tier 5. Everything is tier 5. I don't have tier 4. Back in the days I was having like 1 million tier 5 Celestials and something like 700-800 Vestals, but these times actually change. Right now this is my legions, and boy oh boy, believe it or not, I'm going to share with you something crazy that is happening to my account. And this is going to be a second opinion for you about which troop to actually use where. And boy, I have tested hundreds of reports, especially for tier 4, tier 5. I tried to put some support legion that is just tier 4, you know, to support my tier 5 legions. I'm talking about the mages. I tested going with tier 4 because, you know, I was having only tier 4 and it was one idea cheap to get healed and etc. But the results is actually shocking me right now. Now my alliance may hate me about these words, but right now I cannot spend my troops. Obviously, it's about the activity, and if you watch my streams, boy, I have like 10 hours active, non-stop fighting, finishing the stamina of my heroes. But this is not actually the point of this video. The point is how the cheap one is actually more expensive from the expensive one. So yeah, I'm going to start with the first thing that, you know, maybe the people are thinking is, and this is correct, tier 5 costs more heal per unit. I mean, from point of elixirs, one tier 5 troop costs the same like one tier 4, but from point of resource healing, tier 5 unit can cost like 2.5 times more from a tier 4 troops, but they kill more, they survive longer, and they have less in the hospital. Something that maybe some of the people you know, didn't actually think that deeply over this, but when you're fighting, you get less severely wounded in the hospital. If you go out with your donkeys or somebody strike, right now you're farming, somebody strike your let's say donkeys that is farming, all of the donkeys are going in the hospital. I want to point out this thing very clearly. All of the donkeys are going to the hospital. The reason is not because the donkeys are donkeys and when you hit the donkey the donkey cannot move anymore. The reason behind is donkeys are the lowest power level troop in Call of Dragons. So knowing this thing, the next thing is going to be level tier 1 troops, tier 2, tier 4, tier 3, tier 4 and tier 5. So lowest tiers is just going to feel and go more in the hospital from the highest tier. And I can actually have I think I have some reports, by the way, from my farm. Here I actually fight, you know, this is some reports that I extract. I'm going to go over this one. 71k severely wounded, close to 300k on the enemy side. But let's check here out what I actually kill here. And yeah, can we actually see something that is just okay? This one is actually hitting me because I swarm one castle, but I want to find somebody with tier 4. I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to find somebody because we are at this stage where everybody is like tier 5, but yeah, I really hope. Okay, maybe I will not be able to find, maybe somewhere where I did crazy amount of damage, it can be a tier 4. But the point is that just by hitting tier 4, the enemy is getting more severely wounded. So you're going to heal less if you're tier 5 from this to be a tier 4. This is something that we have to mention because we all see the difference between tier 5 and tier 4 from point of costing. But the more strong is your legion, the less severely wounded is going in the hospital. This is something that I learned before half year and changed entirely my gameplay. So yeah, keep this thing in mind. And by keeping this thing in mind is that basically what this means. That means for every resource you're spending, you actually getting way more in the results. Again, you're killing more, you survive longer on the battlefield. Like this, your legion is just going to fire up more rage skills, hero rage skills, and etc. And something that I did, and maybe I feel a little bad about that when I think now, is basically wasting my resources healing weak troops. I was thinking before I actually tear up my, how to say, my infantry, I was thinking I'm going to keep my infantry forever tier 4. I'm going to keep them because they're so easy and cheap to be healed. But right now, too bad I don't have any kind of reports that I can actually show you. Here I have some reports, but yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, here is like 32k servantly wounded on my side and 67. Now I don't think it's everything here tier. Maybe I should actually find where I did the most damage. It's going to be over some cavalry. Yeah, here is still tier 5 cavalry. I really want to find somewhere with tier 4, but again we're at the stage where just maybe this one is tier 4. No, we're at the stage where we're not having that many tier 4. We're not having that many tier 4 people. But still, by using my tier 4 troops, I just feel my hospital way more faster. It's going to be more cheap, but it's less efficient. Because if they send your troops faster in the hospital, that means you have to go out from the battlefield way more faster from this to be a tier 5. And this is costing time. When you go back to your castle, you may get catched by a cavalry. I mean, there is so many things on the downside if you're actually running tier 4 and you're a tier 5 player. I mean, nothing wrong if you're tier 4, this is the only thing you got. Definitely don't run with tier 3 or tier 2. But if you're a tier 5, it's completely pointless even to build some support legion that you can cheaply heal, because I tried this thing, my support legion was doing like 5 to 7k merits, and at the same time it's filling my hospital again, even that it was a tier 4. Still, I think the best value is actually coming from the tier 5. And what this actually mean? That mean in team wars or alliance wars, one tier 5 march is basically equals to maybe 2 or maybe sometimes 3 week marches. And this is something that I noticed back in the days when in the season 1, because we was having for the first time we was having a tier 5 person in the server, and this tier 5 person was farming, literally farming our keeps. I mean, we was having inside, you know, some mages, some marksmen, but he came with Hoskinara and he killed like 11 legions before the 12th legion actually killed this march. It was wild what was happening back in the days, but obviously in the season 1 the majority of the people don't have the tier 5 researches. They don't even have, they just open tier 4, that's all. Some people was even with tier 3, because in the progress you basically have to go with tier 2, tier 3 to level up these tiers. It takes time, so better just start training tier 4 and blah blah blah. But it was wild when we actually faced against tier 5 players, and from the enemy side was 2 people with tier 5. One of them run some cavalry and kill like, I don't know, 60-70 gathering nodes. I mean, gathering heroes in the nodes. It was crazy, and you cannot stop it. The moment you show up with some legion, the majority of us was with mages. He jump on you and he eat your legion alive. It was just crazy what was happening back in the days, especially with the tier 5. And every resource you're actually spending over the tier 5 is just returning more kills per second of your time. This is also something that I want to point out, is when you're having your tier 5, is you're just going to get better trades at the end of the day when you go out. Obviously, again, this is not like I want to say if you're tier 4, try to reach tier 5, but mostly I'm speaking from my personal experience, being tier 4 mainly before like 1 month before the greatest heights come, and I train and retrain like 7 million troops. 4 million was retrained and extra 3 million was trained. So I clearly see the difference of trying to think that the tier 4 are cheaper, but at the same time they're not that cheaper. If you look in the wrong run, you're getting less merits, you get more in the hospital, and you have less survivability on the battlefield. So if you're like me, don't forget to smash the like if you ever thought that tier 5 was too expensive. We're basically changing this mindset today. So I definitely think that the cheaper units is more expensive in the long run. Is definitely. So yeah, if you agree with that, don't forget to hit one like on the video. If you think that having like one legion tier 5 is just going to bring way more value, obviously it's going to bring way more value for you, but in the same time, from point of how much resource you're spending and how many merits you're getting, the difference is way more bigger and is in favor of the tier 5. I really want to see how many people are thinking that this is the case with the tier 5, and that from first look they're looking expensive. I mean, they are more expensive, for example, from tier 4, but at the end of the day, from in form of value they're providing, they're actually the cheaper one. So yeah, just give me some signal with one like on the video to see how many people are thinking like this. Now here, obviously, we can speak a little about the commanders and faction you are, but in general, it didn't actually matter what kind of commanders you can put, but just pick the commanders that are currently the meta commanders in Call of Dragons. Very important to mention, because, you know, if you are going with a very weak commander, the commanders is also influence your overall performance. Even if you have a tier 5, I even have a video on my channel, you can go and check it out, how to kill tier 5 with tier 4. And the only way you can achieve that is having tier 4 cavalry hitting tier 5 Chakcha, Kewa, Gathering heroes with the tier 5 maybe infantry inside or whatever. This is the only way you can actually win this war, when the enemy is not having the right heroes there. The only way. And boy, it's just crazy, because this type of heroes is having nothing to support. Can give you some Chakcha, counterattack, increasing counterattack damage by 15, wreckage accumulation speed, but in same time, again, very bad. So maybe we can win against tier 5 when they're in the mines and getting better value from our tier 4 troops, but at the end of the day, this is extremely rare case that can actually happen in Call of Dragons. And something that I want to mention is don't fear the resource cost. Don't fear the resource cost over the tier 5. Maybe it's just fear the inefficient trades. This is the bottleneck, or if you have to gather something from this video, is tier 5 are not expensive. I mean, they're the most expensive, but in form of value, they're bringing way bigger value. And the only thing that can stop you for getting the best value is inefficient trades. What I mean by that is just you just go and fight, or you're throwing your infantry in the enemy direction and hoping something actually to happen there. But if you're like this right now, I'm just killing some infantry in the front lines. You know, don't put your infantry together to get stuck it. This is one of the things, but you know, I have other tips on my channel, you can go and check it out, about some efficiency and how to be better in Call of Dragons. And I really want to know what troop tier are you using right now? What is the tier of your troops? This is the what is the highest tier? And have you ever compared their real healing efficiency? This is also something that I want to know, my viewers, what they think. Let me know again. Let me know in the comments. What is your troop tier? And have you ever compared their real healing efficiency? How much you get per healed unit? I want to know, am I the only one who didn't actually think over this thing for a very long time about if you do some healing over specific tier troop, how much you're getting in return in form of value. So even if you're, you know, if you think that your comment maybe is something, you may feel bad to share this thing. Believe it or not, I share a lot of bad things in my videos, a lot of stupid mistakes that I have done. So yeah, just don't fear. Just comment your tier troop and what was your idea when you was going to heal your troops. What is the idea behind what you was expecting when you do the healing in form of efficiency on this battlefield? If you have never thought about this actually food for your brain. And don't forget to drop a like for smarter fights. Every like, or if you like to help new players to save millions of resources. If this thing is going to help you save some resources, just let me know with one comment under my video. I really appreciate that. So yeah guys, this will be for this video. Thank you very much for spending some time on my video. I really appreciate that you pick my video to watch it. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.